Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on Blogger site as an archive post thingy there, and on Patreon for extra support. And any kind of updates and the such I usually go about on Twitter. Yesterday I did manage to stream a little bit of Elden Ring. We did the deep root depths. And we wrapped up with Fiat Quest there with the golden, yeah, that's how he calls. Yeah, the VODs will eventually come up during today, at least from Saturday. I still need to edit out and edit and upload from yesterday's live stream, but the previous two VODs will come up between today and tomorrow. So that's that. And later today we'll get a Mutineer Zero episode. And yeah, again, live streams schedule cannot commit to anything, mainly because, again, given my working schedule, cannot commit to a fixed schedule on the live stream stuff. But yeah, I will try my best to stream as much as I can, at least trying to prepare myself for the DLC there. Yeah, regarding the channel in terms of updates, that's it. We got some news here. I never heard about this company, AmpereOne or Ampere. Seemingly they already have some stuff. This is, even though this is more focused on at this moment in time with AI accelerators and server stuff there. Yeah, it's a CPU designer, let's say, but it uses TSMC's foundries to manufacture their own CPUs. The one that they have, they are more at the moment with the cloud segment, which I'm not sure if they can be even leveraged to AI accelerators, the CPU part there, but I think they are more focused on ARM architecture there, from what I understood. And they are using also chiplet technology. This one will be on the third generation of their own CPUs, which is very interesting. At this moment in time, they have stuff like 192 physical cores, TDPs of 350 watts, and 8 DDR5 memory channels, which enables them to compete with EPYC and Intel's Xeon CPUs there, which is interesting because, again, my main focus on this article is regarding competition, and the fact that we have some competition here on the market is always good. I don't know, given that the fact is ARM based, I don't know, at least in terms of this kind of technologies, how this can be used to leverage the final consumer. But it's always interesting to see new companies trying to get around and enter in the market there. But I think they have a decent amount of market share in this segment, at least that enables them to continue to produce the CPUs there and have a pretty big roadmap there, given especially that this AmpereOne 3, which is the third generation there, is going to introduce chiplet technologies, more DDR5 controllers, and PCI 6 PCIe Express 6 connections on the memory stuff there. It's going to be interesting because usually it's on this field, on the R&D part of things, that things then tend to trickle down a little bit on the end consumer like us. Now, in terms of ARM, I don't know, in terms of for gaming and such. I think in terms of probably productivity apps and such, when you have this kind of thing, I think it might be good for like dedicated computers to that do productivity works. I think it might be interesting. But yeah, the main thing is it's this company, which is from America. They design their chips there, and yeah, it's always interesting to see this. Regarding that, the CPU stuff, Similarly, this is a very segmented thing. The Korean DII segment, which is South Korea. Uh, we've been seeing a lot of dominance lately from AMD. As you can see here, again, this is 2023. By the end of 2023, we got kind of mixed back here. They were around 50-50, but at this moment in time, AMD seems to be dominating. Interesting enough, the Ryzen 5 5600 non-X version is the one that gets the biggest slice of the pie with around almost 12%. Then we got the 7600 non-X version and the 7500F with about 10% and 7.5% respectively there, which is pretty interesting because these CPUs, if you pair it with a decent enough GPU, that they are more than capable, especially if you, I don't know, this can be even paired with the, I don't know, 7900 GRE or something like that and play 4K-ish decently, if you look a little bit down, or even 1440p, decent frame rates there. Yeah, and interesting, this is still AM4. Again, AM4 is still a very valid platform so far for gaming PCs, because usually the CPU is not the most demanding part, usually on the gaming side. But we're seeing a lot of adoption of at least lower end or the the lower end of the AM5 CPU stuff there, which is interesting. Even though that the 7800X3D has a big adoption rate, around 6%, which is more or basically the same that the 14700K and the 14400F basically combined there almost, which is very interesting. AMD is dominating there, and through this polling here that at least at this moment in time, around 2,400 votes, 70% people are using AMD CPUs, and GPUs still, interestingly enough, we got a lot of AMD still, 50%, and we got still some Intel guys using some Intel GPUs, sorry, which is very interesting. But yeah, this study here from it's a market study, indicates that, and again, with the fact that this 13 and 14 Intel chips, the higher end, they are being completely screwed up from the BIOS, the instability issues. Some of them might be like silicon degradation. Again, when you're trying to ramp through by trying to just put more power there to try and brute force yourself out of performance with high wattages, and with that generates more heat, which facilitates the degradation of the components, especially electronic components and very sensitive things like CPUs. Yeah, the Intel stuff, they blame a lot of the AIB motherboard manufacturers, which to a certain extent might be their fault because the way they put the unlimited power thingy there. But yeah, the fault falls to a certain degree to Intel, the way they manufacture their CPUs and the way they are doing their stuff there. And we're seeing here on the DIY market a lot of pre-built stuff. A lot of people have been returning them that, as far as Intel goes, the pre-built with that as Intel CPUs, which is very interesting by itself. But yeah, seems that AMD is pushing up a little bit there, especially on the Korean market. Again, putting some pressure on Intel so they can improve their game and be more competitive, at least on the CPU side there. And then we got a tease from AMD regarding the 7900 XTX. This supposedly is from XFX. It's the same brand that I have, and I have the high end that they have, which is the 7900X, the Merc, which is where it is here. It's the XTX Spitzer Merc 310 Black, whatever it is. It's the high end at the moment. They're going to introduce supposedly Phoenix Nirvana variant. It's a quad slot. Mine is a triple slot or 3.5, something like that. So it's going to be even bigger than the one that I have, which is already a pretty chunky GPU. It will come with supposedly 14 phase PCBs power thingies there. Yeah, interestingly, we don't have like real image. We got only like mock-ups of the such. But again, the chip will have the same kind of clock speeds that the one that I have. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of improvement there. The most interesting thing is the cooling solution here, which goes thermal version 0.40, 216 aluminum fins, and 6mm copper heat pipes, and again a large vacuum vapor chamber base plate that will cover GPU and VRAM mounts, which is very interesting. They're also claiming that they're going to use like premium thermal pads. Is always good to see, but yeah, in terms of pricing, the connections and everything is basically the same thing. In terms of the connectors, the power connectors, I don't know if it is the same that mine. I don't know by heart on the top of my head which ones that the XFX uses, the Merc 310. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit bigger, and it's going to be yeah, it's not that much in terms of length, but it's more chunky, more height, and a little bit more width also. Yeah, it's going to be a lot, and it's going to start off with around $1,000, give or take. Even though the one that I have is a little bit more cheaper, I think around almost $100 cheaper than this one. And similarly in terms of like raw performance, doesn't seem to add a lot more than the high end that there is already in the market. So let's see how it goes. Maybe somebody will do some review of this specific version of this GPU. Yeah, but I don't see kind of any added value at this moment in time. But yeah, it's a tease. At least they are still manufacturing these GPUs. I think AMD, even again with these limitations, to a certain point can introduce a lot of price to performance value there. They got a lot of that now, especially with their reduction on the 7700 XTs, the 7800 XTs, and even the 7900 variants, especially I think the GRE, and the XT is also pretty good. And we saw some drops also on the XTX versions of the GPUs there, which is always good to see. Yeah, they're pretty competitive. They can again, they cannot compete with the 4090, but that's not the goal there. At least since the beginning, supposedly was not the goal for competing the 4090. But again, just to refresh, this one usually competes pretty well against the 4080, even the 4080 Super in terms of rasterized performance. They trade blows here and there depending on the game, and usually this one is cheaper moment in time, around $100, give or take at least. Then depends on the AIB, on the part of NVIDIA stuff there. 7900 XT just blows away the 4070 Ti Super, I think, and it's cheaper. It goes around $750 or almost $700. Then you got the 7800 XT that is a little bit below the $500 there, which basically competes in terms of price with the 4060 Ti 16 gigabytes and the 4070s there. That goes about that range, and it performs way better than that. But yeah, this is what I got in terms of hardware. In terms of games, not much happening. I saw some stuff with Escape from Tarkov, but I never covered that game. It's usually not something for me. I didn't pay attention, so I don't want to give any kind of coverage at this moment in time because I'm not in the know what happened with that. But I saw some rumblings here and there. But we got Vampire Survivors, which is a pretty good, excellent game. We got the version 1.10. This is Laborratory update. Supposedly it's now available. Got some 7 new extra achievements, got more stages, 1 character, 1 weapon in its evolution, 1 passive weapon. Again, this game is pretty dirty cheap. Usually it's around $5, and I think with all the DLC and all the content, it's maximum $10, and it's a lot of fun if you like this kind of game, like pixel art style. bullet hell kind of a thing there, with a lot of roguelike elements there, and the evolution stuff that happens during the runs there. I think it's a pretty good game there. So we got another, and it's made by a handful of people. This was made, I think the game was made out of boredom to a certain degree, and then the guy Ponkley started to experiment with the engine and adding stuff, and then basically it came about to being basically a game there, and it was launched on Steam. It's a huge success, and definitely, if you like this kind of game, I think it's a must buy there. I will leave the script link on the Steam page of this game, even though I don't think it's on sale at the moment. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. But yeah, in terms of news, is what I got. But we got still some gaming deals. Sorry, Jusant, 30% off. We got Lords of the Fallen. This is already come with the latest version, where they had a lot of stuff. I covered the modifier stuff that they had for New Game Plus, I think. Very interesting, and it's 50% off on the on both versions. We got also Sekiro is still on a deal here, 50% off. Again, this is one of those must play there. We got Nier Duology, the Replicant, 60%, and and Nier Automata also 60% off. On GOG, we got Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition, 33% off. Usually it's the price that it's being at now in the latest deals that are being happening with Phantom Liberty DLC. We got also 75% off on Spiritfarer Farewell Edition, and finally we got Children of Morta Complete Edition, 71% off, which I think it's might be a good game here if you also like some pixel art style games there. And yeah, this is what I got for you today. We'll see how it goes regarding the rest of the day, regarding the publishing of videos, and also doing some live stream. Just pay attention on my Twitter. I do all the updates there, especially when I do some live streams. But yeah, I will leave with a plug on my Patreon as usual for extra support. The extra support at this moment in time is more about for me trying to find a storage solution for me to be able to get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and also some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, I'm your master out.